Oh yeah. What do you think? I think that looks pretty awesome. My name's Wayne and welcome back to the channel. Today I am so excited for this video because I've been wanting to do this event for a long time. Because today we're going to prep the car for an autocross. Now I've autocrossed in the past, but never with an old car like this. And it's been a long time since I have, but you know what? So I'm really excited to see how much fun we can have with the Cuda on an autocross course. You know, it's closed off, you can really push the limits of the car. I've been out driving it, having lots of fun, and it handles incredible, but you can't push it anywhere near its limits on the streets, to be honest. So this is gonna be fun. It'll be a good test. Closed environment, not a real high speed. You know, the highest speeds you're really gonna get to is probably about 60, you know, the top of second gear, but we'll be able to push the handling and braking and see how rusty I am behind the wheel, because it's been a long time since I've done an autocross. Today we're going to go through the basic steps to get the car prepped to make sure we are all ready for the event. So they do take safety pretty seriously with autocross, and one thing you do have to have is a helmet. So I had some old motorcycle helmets from, you know, probably 20 years ago, and it's a full face, and I didn't want to run that. I really like using an open face in a car. I just feel like I have better visibility as well. I'm not quite so claustrophobic, and for me, since I don't use one very often, it's less of an adjustment to just feel comfortable with having a helmet on that's an open face. So I picked one up from Summit. This is the Bell Sport Mag. It's one of the cheaper helmets, although still not cheap, but they have good reviews and they're pretty popular. Just for the price point, you can get a good quality open face helmet. You know, next thing I want to do is double check, make sure all my lug nuts are torqued to spec. I'm going with 75 foot-pounds. The last thing you want to do is have a wheel get loose or worse, fall off. Let's go through and double check them all. All right, we're good. Let's go check the other side. All the lug nuts were perfect, none were even loose, so that's good, but something you always want to double check. Now, let's go double check and make sure our brake fluid is topped off. Topped off, the front is good, perfect. I really didn't think there would be issues because I just did the brakes last year. Man, it's a little bit loose. It's tight. Yeah, alright, we're good. Again, stuff you just want to double check and make sure before you do anything extreme, hard driving with your car. Making sure your brake fluid's checked off, we're good. So we already checked the brake fluid and I already checked the engine oil, that's good, but let's always double check the coolant as well and make sure that's topped off. So one thing you have to have when you do an autocross is to put your number and your car class on the side of your vehicle. And some people will do it with painter's tape, but another option is to use magnetic letters. So what I ended up doing was going onto Amazon and bought some magnetic vinyl sheet material. So the backing is black, which is magnetic, and the show side is white. So it'll be a nice contrast with my car. Then what I did is I printed out just some letters basically that will suit my class and the numbers that I want. I found online, printed those out, and now we're going to trace these out onto the magnetic vinyl. And then we'll cut those out. It's going to be a little bit of a tedious process, but you know what? It's going to be a lot nicer than having, you know, blue painter's tape on the side of the vehicle. So let's get to work. All right, so the class I'm going to be running in is CAM, C-A-M. There's actually a few different subcategories depending on the year and type of car you have. I'm going to be running in CAM T, which is T stands for traditional. So with that being said, I found, like I said, some letters that I can cut out individually. And the number I chose for this event, just 7. You can choose whatever you want as long as it's not already taken for that class. And I'll have a backup number 2 if I want to be 7D, just in case I need something else in the future maybe. So we're going to pull out the vinyl now. Let's see what we have. All right, so here's what it looks like. Again, just a white, basically 8.5 by 11 of vinyl. And I've already tested it on the car and it sticks pretty good. And well, we're going to do the daunting task of trimming and cutting out letters. Well, that wasn't too bad. We have all of our letters and numbers trimmed out. So this is going to be my template. So now we're going to lay out the numbers and letters on the vinyl, trace those out to give me a good guideline to cut the vinyl with. All right, so I have me a big, fat, soft pencil and I have my numbers laid out. So it looks like I can get 2 numbers on one sheet of paper, so that's good. So we're going to carefully try to trace these out. And using a pencil like this, I can always come back and erase those pencil lines when I have any after my trimming them out. So yeah. All right, so I have all my letters and numbers traced out, and didn't go too bad. Only took a few minutes. But now we're going to try to cut the magnetic vinyl with our scissors and see how it goes. So I don't expect... that cuts like butter, you know what? That's really nice. I really wasn't sure how that was going to cut, but no problem at all. We'll definitely have to go and get like probably a wet rag and just clean off all the lead marks from our pencil. But that's cutting just great. Okay, well this is going to be great, you know, as long as I think the key to making these last long and get a lot of use out of them is just making sure they don't get bent, you know. So making sure you store them flat would be really key to getting a good long use out of these magnets. But man, cutting a lot quicker and easier than it was to even trace them out. So there's one. There you go. We'll put it on time lapse because you probably don't want to watch me do each and every one of these. Well, the letters are all cut out and I cleaned them up with a paper towel and some Windex, and you know what? I think they look really good. And now, hey, let's go put them on the car and see how they look. All right, so we'll just give the door a little wipe down, get the dust off of it. And yeah, let's see how these babies stick. Oh yeah, perfect. Oh yeah. What do you think? I think that looks pretty awesome. Pretty professional. Even if we are just an average Joe, we'll at least look like we know what we're doing. So I'm feeling really good. So I think we're all set with the car. I've checked everything that I can think of. The car is running well. I've been driving it for the past few weeks and it's running great. So I think all we have to do now is drive to the track and cross our fingers that everything goes well and just have a lot of fun. That's really all my expectations are, just to have a good time behind the wheel of the car. So at the end of this video, you definitely want to tune in next week. You don't want to miss that video when we're actually racing the car at our local Detroit Autocross event. I can't wait. It's going to be so much fun, and hopefully everything goes well. Well, that's going to be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and if you did, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And you know the deal. If you turn on that bell notification, you'll be notified each and every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.